I'll always be with you.
afternoon, beautiful people. Welcome to Rietspruit Game Reserve. I am Victoria, for those of you who are new around here, and behind camera this afternoon we have Andrew and we have Liam melting in the office at home, at pace, making sure everything goes smoothly. Now I have to tell you that although we tell you about the weather 99% of the time, this may be the hottest day we have ever had in Rietspruit. Maybe.
I think so.
We have been sitting in our offices or doing admin in town, or I don't know, the team's actually been quite split today. But I have a friend in Rietspruit town and we're about a 15-20 minute drive from there, so this is not science, but it gives you an idea. Who posted a picture of her thermometer today, and the temperature was 48 degrees Celsius. That's 118.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my gosh! That is the warmest. This might be the warmest day I've ever experienced in my life. So Andrew and I were chuckling now just before we went live, because the faster we go, normally the faster you go, the more it feels like it's aircon, right? This is not like that. This is the faster you go, the faster hot air hits you. Slow down, slow down. It's getting too hot, Andrew says. What was that? That would have been nice. We raced away too quickly. We're getting an update from VM saying that the banded mongoose are drinking from the reservoir. So if you watch that camera, keep an eye out. That'll be good to know, because I've spoken about it, but I really want to habituate a troop of banded mongooses so that we can view them the same way certain parts of Southern Africa view meerkats. They get very, very comfortable. Actually, I was telling stories now. I'll greet all the pack members in a minute. I must be getting confused between whether I was telling the story on a Zoom drive or on a live drive, but I've definitely told the story of being on the ground with a dwarf mongoose who was moving her burrows. And it might have been 2 YouTubes ago. Andrew's very on top of things. Anyway, I was doing quite a bit of computer work today. Part of it was planning. I needed to dig into the archives of photographs. I'm just going to stop apologizing for how cracked up my screen is. Eventually I'll get there. It's got a bit of... There you go. So this is the photo that I was referring to if you were on that Zoom drive. Have a look. It's a dwarf mongoose carrying the tiniest little baby ever. Isn't that adorable? I didn't know that I had photographic proof, so I was very thrilled when I saw that. So if I told you about it, there's the evidence. We were on the ground like 3 meters from them, and it was beautiful. Alrighty. Let me greet you all. I'm being rude. Hello, Brian. Hello, Jennifer, Connie, Carol, Becky, Bob, and hello, Mary. Hello, Betty. Hello, Elsa. And I think that's everyone. If I've missed you, you know what to do. Shout at me. Okay, so besides a couple of rhinos near the corridor, that's where they are, Blue Wildebeest Stand. There haven't been many things found just yet, except for a brief sighting of a hyena. So I'm moving into that area. It apparently was a very brief sighting, but I haven't seen a spotted hyena on Rietspruit. The population has taken a knock as a result of the lions, and so we very rarely see them. We do see tracks of them pretty regularly. Oh, I need to slow down. Oh my goodness me. I'm not much of a glower, but I'm definitely glowing today. That's what we call it. It's just glowing when you're a lady. Not so. Not so. Speaking of glowing, I've just jogged my own memory. I don't know if any of you follow me on social media. If you do, you will have seen the humiliation I faced last night. But if not, I must tell you about it. I was so glad no one was watching me, but I live in a place where there's a camera everywhere, so I'm very lucky that this wasn't caught on camera. But because it's been so oppressively hot in the last 10 days, it's been really hard to work out and gym. And so last night around 7:30, I decided I needed to get some energy out. It was still 30 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius, which is hot, really hot. Anyway, I decided I was going to just climb the stairs 100 times because in the bush you can't go for a run or do anything overly exciting after dark because that's how you die. No, just kidding. But you're definitely vulnerable after dark. So I decided the stairs were the best option. So I was going up and down the stairs. It's about 20 stairs in the flight. Up and down, no problem. They're outdoor stairs, so it's dark. I just had enough light to see the stairs in front of me, but I also know where they are, so I wasn't really relying much on my vision. And I was about 20 minutes into the workout. I was distracted because I was on the phone with my mum, because I never do one thing at a time. I'm always multitasking. And the next thing I know, something falls from above me. I was at the bottom of the stairs going up. Something falls on me, and it's slimy, and I can't work out if it's slimy because my arm is a bit sweaty from the workout or what's going on, but it drops from above like it's falling from the heavens, and it lands on my bicep. Don't have much of a bicep, but this part of my arm, and then migrates down my arm. And at this point, oh, nice, there's a giraffe. Andrew's got his eyes on the right side of the road while I've got mine on the left. It's actually 2 or 3 here. And then some impala. And there's rumblings of thunder. Andrew thinks it's going to rain in the next 24 hours. We shall all hope.
I saw the rain. It's over Rietspruit, no?
He can see the rain, he says, in the distance.
You'll see it soon.
This is a beautiful giraffe. It's got quite a parasite load under the armpit there.
The front part.
Just looking with, yeah, this giraffe's carrying a lot, belly as well, back of the legs, hind leg. There's a lot of ticks on her.
Does that mean she's less healthy?
So yeah, this means that her immune system's probably compromised. The parasite load is often directly correlates to the health of the animal. Hopefully a couple of good meals and some ox peckers will help her recover. But that's significantly more ticks than we expect to see. Becky, it does look cloudy. To be honest with you, this hasn't been one of those hot days where you've had blue skies. It's been a very humid, hot day. It has been all over the place. So There are a few clouds, but we're not really. We don't know. Andrew thinks we'll have rain in the next 24 hours, and quite frankly, I've never ever wanted Andrew to be more right in my life, because rain would be fantastic. Yeah, she does need oxpeckers, Betty, but even so, a higher than normal parasite load will always be an indication of a compromised immune system. That can't be fun. But I've seen giraffes using little shrubs, kind of like buffalo and rhino do, to scratch their belly. Maybe pull some off like that as well. Beautiful though. So the giraffes actually will feed a little less during the middle parts of the day when it's really, really, really hot, because the tannin content in the plants is a lot higher as a result of the heat. Now today, none of that heat has eased off, but they're probably just at a point where they're like, well, we've ruminated everything that's in our belly. It's time to fill that rumen up with more food for their four-chambered stomachs to start digesting. I mean, giraffe can feed up to 16 hours a day. They always take some time to ruminate. They have to ruminate. It's a very important part of their digestive system, or their digestive process. I love watching a giraffe plucking the leaves off a branch. The coordination of the tongue and the dexterous lips. We didn't bring peaceful sleep, did we?
Yeah.
Rookies. Andrew and I will never ever graduate from the rookie club.
It's okay, I'll pack some to try remove it.
Okay, so my story, yes. One of you just prompted me. That's so funny, Jennifer. Thank you for reminding me where I was, Jennifer. This is not sounding like fun. You had something slimy down your arm. Okay, so like I said, it flopped, and it felt huge. It just it hit me, and then it moved down my arm. And now I'm up and down stairs. That's the workout. And firstly, I tensed. It actually fell on my right arm, which is really weird because the big wall in the deck is up on your left, which actually will make sense a little later on. But I tensed so much that I gave my neck and my shoulder, and I screamed, and then I tripped, and I landed in a very ungraceful fashion on the stairs. And Flora was outside with me because she shouldn't be outside after dark unless she's supervised, and I thought, well, this is a great time to supervise her. And so I have goes to worst case scenario, or mine does, and I was thinking this has got to be a venomous snake that's fallen on me. I am going to get bitten. This is just going to get worse. I'm so dramatic. It's actually embarrassing. Turns out it was a foam nest, a really large foam nest tree frog. No wonder I felt that suction, and it jumped quite far. Oh, I think I traumatized the frog more than I was traumatized. There's a herd of impala up ahead, and I think there was a lamb. Did you see a lamb? Not. A lot of them have horns, so they're males. But earlier when we were further back in the distance, I thought I did see a lamb. I could have been wrong. Yes. So that was how my tragic little evening went. There's a really massive warthog in the background. You let me know when. Further behind.
He went hard.
Aww. Yep, our warthog has moved off, but we have a bachelor herd of impala rams here. There he comes, here he comes. He's coming back, he's peeping in the back. Anyway, considering that it's only rams, there was definitely never a lamb here. Becky, you read correctly that giraffes don't sleep much. We have spoken about this, but I can't remember on which drive. We're doing so many drives at the moment. Everything's becoming one. But giraffes, it's not that giraffes don't sleep much. It's that most animals out here, particularly herbivores, don't sleep much. That said, we're looking at a warthog, and they'll actually use a burrow and sleep for a substantial period of time. But the reason animals don't sleep for very long is double-fold. It's because they don't have the same brain activity that we have, so they actually don't need that long period of unconsciousness for restoration. And there was lightning in the distance there. Maybe Andrew's right. Every time I say something about rain, he looks at me like, I told you so. But the other reason is because if you are not the apex predator, you live as though you're always on the menu. And so you actually cannot afford the luxury of 8 solid hours of sleep. So your reading is correct. Giraffes don't sleep that much. They sleep when they can in short bouts of time, maybe longest stretches are up to an hour, and they'll crouch down on their haunches to do that, but they won't lie flat. It's the same for these impala. They won't sleep for long periods of time. They'll almost take uncoordinated shifts. Hey, that's a ewe. Okay, I'm not going crazy. I still don't see any lambs, but that's not a male. So there's always a chance. There's no lambs. There's no lambs here. Sleep in long 8-hour segments is a luxury that we possess as humans, but humans more than most other species. Of course, there are those hibernating species, and there's lions that spend 20 hours asleep, but it's not a deep sleep. A lion's sleep is actually quite shallow. You think a lion is fast asleep, and then a twig breaks because a bird lands, and next thing they're up and they're attentive, and they're trying to puzzle out, the situation. So yeah, sleep is a human luxury. Right, let's trundle along. The impala just got a fright. We just moved the camera off, then they find they've settled again, but it's just funny because impala are quite ridiculous with how they respond to warthogs. That one had ingratiated itself in the impala herd, so they knew it was there, but every now and then a warthog gives a herd of impalas the biggest fright because it's at a similar level to a stalking predator, and in long grass or shrubby environments. I didn't catch any of that. They kind of misidentify what it is, and then I've even seen them alarm calling as though they're about to be pounced on, and then seeing the warthog put its head up and look around, and then they're like, oh, okay, fine, it's just a warthog. False alarm, everybody, false alarm. But I think they would rather have false alarms then find themselves in situations where they're too nonchalant, because that does not serve you if you're an impala. There is some serious lightning.
Is that not right though?
Yeah, that is rain there. Is that Rietspruit?
Yeah. I think so.
I would have. Okay.
Right.
I would have thought
It's not.
Rietspruit's
It's
living.
not Rietspruit. It isn't.
Not Rietspruit. Andrew and I are just discussing our directions here. It's embarrassing. We should know where we are. We live here. It's the heat, Andrew. It's got to our brains. Our brains are fried. It's like we've been in an air fryer the whole entire day. Mm-hmm. But it is good to be out. You're hot wherever you are, so you might as well be hot in the wild looking for animals.
Just where you're looking at, are you west of Portsmouth or east of Portsmouth Junction?
I thought that I was going to head to Seacoy Dam.
The female calf and male runners.
Okay. So they've got rhinos more in the north as well. I thought there was something else, but it's not. Okay, we're going to start paying a little bit more attention. I actually might even do, maybe not a loop, but because of the way her hyena moves, it's not really worth. Yeah, I think they're from the other day though. No, they're not too. They've been driven over. There are cheetah tracks here, heading in from where we've just come from. We did track them here to, well, yesterday morning. So it's possible it's those tracks. Some of them look good, but most of them have been driven over. So turn around. I want to hang out in this area. I want to see if we can find the hyena. I don't even know what to expect from hyenas in this environment, whether they're going to be shy. Are they shy? That's really weird for me. Can't wrap my head around a shy hyena. Thanks, Becky. We don't take ourselves too seriously around here. We take our jobs very seriously, okay? But we don't take each other very seriously. They joke so much. Andrew says he's not joking about his brain being fried. He's dead serious. Oh, there's a lamb. There's two lambs. We'll go back a bit, Andrew. There's so many little lambs. Oh, I'm going to go forward. They're moving. Yeah, there's one. The rest will come. There's another one. Boing. Did you see how that impala kicked up? This one, no, that one's not going to do it. The third adult that crossed the road did a really big kick. That's what you look for when they're being chased. But that one did it too, that one as well. You just cleared the entire road. I mean, they can jump. They've been recorded jumping 4 meters high, which is pretty high. But what I was saying is the way they kick those back legs out is actually what we look for. If we were tracking wild dogs, which we're not because we know where they're hiding, up in Kaya, but if we were tracking wild dogs and we thought we were close, we would actually be looking for impalas running exactly like that, with those huge they're over the top dramatic leg kicks. But it's been proven scientifically that the more display an impala does is in its running around predators, particularly predators like wild dogs and cheetah, the less likely it is to be the one that's caught, because they're sending a message to the predator that says, I am really strong and really fit. Choose somebody else in my herd to eat. I'm not the one.
Okay, that's quite well. Okay, I'm 10 minutes out.
What is a big jump, Carol? Would compete for an Olympic long jump record, I would say. They have an advantage though with their 4 legs. Let's weave our way, shall we, towards the dam. Let's not go straight there. There's a very direct route, but I'm going to touch a few of the roads. Oh. I don't know if you can get that, Andrew.
Pull your nose in
To the right.
so
Yeah.
you're into stuff.
Oh, I must have just off-road.
Give me the 3 network stations on Blaubank, Rhino.
Actually, we haven't been hearing them nearly as much as we do in other areas of the Lowveld. So I don't know if they've just decided Rietspruit's not the place that they want to come and sing. I'm okay with that. It's nice to hear them. Very nice to hear them. But also, if you have a lot of them, they're calling all the time, then they'll even start calling at like 3 in the morning and they wake you up. So it's quite ridiculous. See how that mouth is open? It's trying to cool itself down. All the birds we're seeing at the moment have their beaks open. The membranes in their neck really, when those are cooled down, it really helps cool the rest of the bird down. They do something called a gular flutter by pulling air over their throat, the membranes in their throat. They actually can cool their body temperature down. This guy's not really doing that. You would expect to see a lot of up and down movement at the base of that neck and throat region. He's just keeping his bill open, breathing obviously through his mouth. And also keeping a lookout for anything he could snack on. Look at that, he's seen something. So despite their name, woodland kingfisher doesn't fish. So he'll be looking for insects and other grubs to snack on.
Moving the lock of the 2 male lions.
Hello, Mum Ruth.
Open lock.
Oh, but no, I have.
As we went past the chance.
Oh, I didn't hear that. It's a woodland kingfisher, Betty. Okay, I still want to head towards Seacoy Dam slowly because it's such a beautiful big dam. It would be amazing if we could get something like our elephants maybe swimming and wallowing, or a rhino coming for a drink. The male lions are found, but doing nothing. And I don't really blame them, to be honest with you. But they're not too far from, I mean, it's a detour, but they're not too far from home. So on our way back, if we're, we can always swing by. But I make no promises, because if they're not doing anything, then we're not going to go there. And if we find something super exciting, we're not going to rush back. So we will play it by ear. Good to know that they're there, though. One thing about Seacoy Dam this time of the day is that it is possibly going to have Some mosquitoes. But that's okay. I'm feeling tough. Andrew's not feeling so tough. We'll make him tough. We're just gonna work the roads in the area around the dam. I don't know which direction that hyena was moving, but if it was moving in this direction, then this would be the right area to be looking. It's also just one of my favorite areas at the moment after the burn. All these roads that are within the burnt area are so beautiful. The scenes around them because of the thin carpet of green grass. And the herbivores are very happy. I mean, they might not be very happy right now because I'd imagine that this heat is taking its toll on everyone. But luckily there are water sources everywhere. And we've had enough rain that even though the dams are actually starting to dry up again, they're not drying up. There's a lot of evaporation, so the size of the water is starting to shrink. But we've got so much water in the dams that even if we lose a couple of feet, it's not going to, it shouldn't impact, they shouldn't dry again in the summer because we should get rain to replenish the dams and keep them nice and full. Here's hoping. It would be very interesting if we did go long enough without rain that some of the water, at least the seasonal pan started to dry. That would be very interesting because it would force a lot of game movement towards the larger water sources. And if we keep having the heat that we're having, that's going to happen very quickly. If we don't get a really decent rain, then we are going to see a situation where all the seasonal pans, all the water sources that aren't well established, they're going to dry. And then we're going to see a lot of activity around the dams because everything is going to want to be drinking to cool down and to just replenish the water that's going to be lost in the heat. And that'll make game viewing very fascinating, speaking of replenishing water. I'm also stalling getting to Rietspruit Dam because in the time that I've been here, on 3 occasions leopards have been seen at Rietspruit Dam. Andrew and Gareth had the blowbank male a week ago roughly, yeah. And it was Gareth's last drive, which was Monday, or not even a week ago. Feels like he's been gone forever. But it's such a wife thing to say. Andrew's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't feel like he's been gone forever. Excuse me. But hoping for a leopard too, Mum. So it's always been kind of dusk and after dark that a leopard has shown up at that dam. And now, I think the first one that Andrew saw there in our first 2 or 3 weeks here, was it also the blowback male?
What?
Carol might remember. Yes. Yes, the one you got excited about. Was it the blowback male?
No, Carol and I came to the conclusion that it was LM003.
LM003. Gosh, I love that name. Okay, never mind. Not the same cat then. I'm trying to draw patterns out of the movements. Yeah, Andrews is a leopard nonetheless, but the reality is we want to see the same individuals so we can start figuring out their movement habits and patterns. Thank you, Mary. I agree. We have been apart a lot lately. It actually hasn't been that long. It's been... He left on a safari on Tuesday. But there's... Yes. I can't see. Andrew's got info for me. Can't see. Andrew's got info for me. I can't... It's gone black. You're going to have to...
Kevin's message.
Oh, ooh, very exciting. Okay, so Kevin's just updated the sightings group that there are waterbuck at Sequoia Dam. I've seen waterbuck on Antioch through the fence with Basil.
First time I saw waterbuck on this reserve, I said to the new folks, we've made a new discovery.
Andrew thought he made a new discovery when he first saw waterbuck on this reserve. He didn't even know that we had them. He never knew.
It's like we've seen them before. It's like,
Because you're always going to be humbled. This way, huh? Well, I love waterbuck. They are my favorite antelope. So I'm going to try and make my way. I love a few antelope species, actually. I love waterbuck. I'm becoming more and more fond of impala because I think that they are far too readily overlooked when in fact they are super interesting and super complex and are the reason that this environment is as productive as it is. So,
you had to pick one though.
wait, I'm not done. Andrew's making me pick and I haven't even listed all my favorites. I love a klipspringer. I think they're super cool. I used to see them very frequently, but I've only ever seen one on this reserve. And I like a klipspringer because of it's just weird. It lives on rocks. It bounces like a ballerina. Its fur is like loose in its body. So if you sedate a klipspringer, you have to be really careful to do veterinary work or any reason you'd need to sedate a wild animal. But you have to be really careful when you're moving a klipspringer because one of its survival strategies is that its hair, its fur just comes out. So if you want to lift up a klipspringer, if you don't have the actual skin, you're going to just end up with 2 clumps of hair in your hands. And that's one of the ways that they get away from predators, is predators think that they've got them and they haven't. So I like a klipspringer. Recently I saw my first blue duiker, and that was tiny, and I just fell in love with that one too. If I had to choose my favorite antelope, it reminds me of Botswana and of big adventures, and whenever we do Botswana, we do it like, well, not, I mean, we can do it on a trip, we'll do it in a more luxurious way, but when Gareth and I do it, we do it super primitive. So it's like overlanding, you take everything you need and then you bring everything out with you. And, whoa, what's that?
That's rain!
Oh, it's raining everywhere. Andrew was right.
I'm sorry, can you just repeat that so I can save it as my ringtone?
Andrew was right. It's raining. Wow, I did not expect it. I don't know what I thought. I thought we'd driven under a troop of baboons and that we just got, I don't know, baboon rain. Gross. It really is raining though. We've got big drops. They are like globules of rain falling on us. That's fun. So maybe it's a red lechwe, but a red lechwe's close relative is the is the waterbuck. So I think I just like that genus. Andrew Attenborough.
Who said that?
That's a little too far.
Who said that?
Mary.
I'm back, Mary. You go.
Only seen them twice, Carol. On Rietspruit, I guess. It doesn't count when you've seen them on from Rietspruit on another property, does it? For now, the rain is not a concern, but if it does open up, then we'll have to make a call on drive. I'm not worried at the moment. Andrew?
No. I shall say no.
Okay, he's not answering. Andrew's too superstitious baboon rain, adding to the bucket list. Do not add baboon rain to your bucket list, Jennifer. That is, I don't mean that in a lovely way. I mean that in the most disgusting way. Because it was just so like, I just didn't expect it at all. And then, I mean, now we're really getting rained on. Oh well. You're putting on a rain jacket.
No.
Right.
Putting that over the camera.
He's putting, oh, hi, Ariana and Alex from just down the road. Nice of you to join us. You should be on game drive. We're getting wet. Can you believe it? 48-degree heat, and now we have rain. It's actually beautiful. Oh, you've got rain and lightning. Okay.
That's where that was in the distance.
Yes, we did see the rain and the lightning in the distance. I still don't know that. The sky does look ominous, but it's really weird because it's patchy. So we have one like really ominous cloud directly above us, but then we have patches of blue sky all around. I mean, we can see the moon. It's beautiful. So, yeah. Hello, Alex. I love that both of you are sitting in the same place and you both want to text us. That's very nice of you. Okay, let's see if we can get, whoopsie, are we going here? No, I actually think that this takes us to the, oh no, we do. So, we are approaching the dam. I'm hoping we can get these waterbuck on camera for number 3, Carol. Third time lucky. Oh, the rain's getting a little heavier now. Yes, it is. Pardon? Oh, this is going to take us... Ooh. Okay, well, let's go this way and just see if the... It's going to take a little bit of 4x4ing to get down here. Hold on, Andrew. Hold tight. Amazing. I feel so happy. Andrew's next career will be as a weatherman. Oh, there's a waterbuck. 2. Okay, I'm going to try and get a better view. And they are moving away, but I saw 3 waterbuck. That's some evidence on a camera. Guys, everybody, we're going to have to make a call about this drive. The rain's getting quite heavy. Okay, here's a waterbuck. There, Andrew. Gonna move away. Oh, maybe a little further forward. Oh, they've run off. There you go, proof. It's not ideal, but... Oh, my camera's getting something. Oh, my book. Okay, everyone. think we're gonna have to do what okay. We're gonna try and get a little closer to camp. We're gonna, oh, I can smell them. Smell a water buck. I did not expect this when we got on the car this afternoon. We're gonna try to get out of this rain, everyone. PM says it's not raining at near haste, which means it is what I expected, an isolated shower. We're just gonna get through it and out of it so that we can get the camera gear safe and dry. Right now the camera equipment has a raincoat, but it's a human raincoat, so it's not actually a great shelter. I'm gonna skip Sequoia Dam, just because that's exactly under the cloud. We are going to make a different route and hope for the best. Getting very wet. Okay. It feels amazing. This rain feels phenomenal because it's just been like swimming in a pool of 40 to 50 degree water today. It's been very hot and sticky and thick and humid, and I mean, you're drinking so much water and you're still thirsty. The way we've been experiencing heat has been unbelievable, but that means that this rain just feels like a blessing. It's amazing. And I can smell the ground. There's like very earthy scents coming up. It feels like you can feel the heat coming off the ground and then the coolness of the water falling on our skin. It's amazing. Oh, one in my eye there. Need to get some guiding goggles for dung beetles and very rainy days.
Negative was draw up and 20 hours.
I don't even know where it's coming from. There are no clouds above us, so I'm not complaining. It's beautiful. So we are getting back to the area where we decided to turn towards Sequoia Dam. So we should see the last area of the hyena. So we should see, maybe if we're lucky, we'll see those impala with their babies again. Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
How nice is the rain?
Stunning.
Amazing. Nobody's melting yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a great
Can I
drive.
see much?
There are water back there, but we're trying to get away from the rain. So
Alright,
we were.
pull the rain then.
Yeah, go. Everybody else is doing the exact opposite to us. They are trying to seek out the heaviest looking clouds because it's just an amazing experience. I can't articulate what I'm experiencing right now. I'm doing my best. But like I was saying, it's earthy and musky, and so it feels like an unlocking, like unlocking the earth. Everything that's dried up, it's still green and lush, of course, because we've had a lot of rain this season, thank goodness. But it's definitely needed this. We've needed this in the last couple of days. It mustn't stop, it must actually just continue. It's not going to though, there's no clouds above us. We're getting rained on still, but I don't know if it's going to set in vibrance. We shall see. The next few days will tell. I can still hear all the cicadas. It's still really hot. The rain actually hasn't even taken much of the edge off, but we seem to be out of it for now, so we will continue. Perhaps we will go and see what the Rietspruit males are up to. Probably sleeping and facing their bellies towards the rain. Little tiny pockets of respite. Raindrops. I was really so surprised by the rain. Man, that felt good. We've moved out. We're no longer under a cloud. And now it's hot again, really hot.
Just nice and cool.
It was cooling. It was cooling for a second. You know what it actually feels like? Andrew's got goosebumps. Andrew and I are so weak when it comes to the cold. It is not cold, people. I will tell you what the temperature is, and then one of you will have to do the conversion. It's 36 degrees Celsius at the moment, which is smell level 3 unlocked. Yeah, you're right, Mary. We can smell even a higher level than level 3. I don't know how you classify smell level 3. Is level 5 the most smell? Okay. Would that be like good smells or bad smells? Ooh, well, we've been seeing a ton of tortoises. Here's another one. Very typical, playing right tortoise. Actually quite a big leopard tortoise. Interesting, this would be considered a relatively large leopard tortoise. And they are the 4th largest tortoise seen in Africa, which is pretty amazing when you consider some of the sizes of the other ones. There's a big gap between the largest tortoises and the leopard tortoise. Do you know what it feels like at the moment? The air is really an air conditioning unit. What we do is we wet our kikois, which is like a light blanket that can be used as a towel, much like a sarong. And then we drape them over ourselves, and even hot, hot, hot air on a wet kikoi feels quite cooling. That's what my shirt feels like right now. Like I've just wet it just enough that even this incredibly warm air that's hitting us is actually quite cooling. Look how well camouflaged that tortoise is now. If we drove past it now and it wasn't moving, it would be very tricky to spot. This is perfect tortoise weather because the heat is great for the ectothermic body functions. Lots of energy that it's absorbed today, no doubt. And then the raindrops are perfect for respite from that, because even reptiles can overheat. I'd imagine this tortoise is almost as content as we are, perhaps more. Moving off. Okay, we're going to move off too. We're going to move off. It's hot again. But I think now that we've only got quite a small portion of the reserve that isn't experiencing rain, we're going to stay in this area and head towards those male lions. If they've had a little bit of rain, they might be inclined to move just because it would have helped cool them down a little bit. There's not much cloud above where they are, so yeah, so it's probably unlikely that they had the rain that we experienced. I did not expect to have the rain we experienced. Just like a really large sprinkler, because it's been switched off. And now it's as though it hasn't happened here. Alex and Ariana, it would be interesting to know if it's still raining your side. From the reserve, we can see various downpours happening far away. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can see where the clouds are extending towards the earth. That's rain. There. It's actually happening all over in the west. It is hot again. Wasn't enough rain to justify a jersey or even a rain jacket, although I would have liked to put one on my camera. I do have one, but then I don't know, I didn't think quick enough. What is the date? The date is the 13th of December. Our last big rains were around between the 10th and the 13th of November. So, oh wait, you had some while we were on leave, didn't you?
Yeah.
5 mils.
8 mils in total.
8 mils in total. That's not very much. I mean, more than that gets absorbed in a day. There's, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, everybody. There's an eland. Oh, that's so crazy. I know, oh yeah, I can feel. Oh no, don't go. Tell me where, do you need me to move? That is so cool. So cool. Oh my word. I haven't seen an eland on this reserve. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. And I can hear lions roaring. Oh my word. This is so incredible. Now you can hear thunder, lions roaring, thunder rumbling, and probably the most rare, one of the most rare antelope we can see on this reserve in our lens focus right now. Gosh, that's
Probably the last one as well.
Andrew reckons it could be one of the last ones. The lions have got into them. They're more of an arid adapted species, so they do occur naturally in this region. I've seen very large herds in northern Kruger, but they survive even better in environments where there's less water, and that's because they are more of a water independent species. And so in environments where there's a lot of water, they can be outcompeted by water dependent species, because the stress is taken away from water dependent species when there is lots of water available. And that means that they outcompete animals like an eland, who, I never say eland, I always say eland, but then Andrew's just said eland. It's the Afrikaans and English. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. I think the last time I saw one of these was in Botswana at Kama Rhino Sanctuary, which is an amazing little reserve. If ever you're in Botswana, you should go there. This is so cool. Now you see those extra straight horns. Every now and then we get a glimpse of very straight horns. Those horns, unlike other horns of the other antelope in this environment, these horns are designed more for self-defense. So you'll know most of our antelope in this area, impala, bushbuck, kudu, you name it, the females don't have horns. And that's because horns are, the males use horns for breeding and for show, and they don't really need a horny structure, the females, because they use the bushes for defense, for self-defense, for hiding. It's not self-defense, it's for concealing themselves from predators. But the eland, as it's designed for arid areas, there's often less thick vegetation in those areas. So think about the desert areas, the Kalahari, there's great populations of them in the Kalahari. They have straight horns, and males and females have horns, in contrast to most antelope in this environment. And they are straight horns, not spiral for show type of horns. They are horns that can really do damage to a predator if a predator is trying to attack them. Actually, I can't see, but my general impression is that this actually is a female. Just this, I mean, from the, Andrew's asking why. So from the eland I've seen, the males are bigger and their horns are actually longer. This individual to me has I don't know, I haven't seen many on Rietspruit. My comparison is Northern Kruger and Botswana, the more arid areas in Central Kalahari and those areas.
Camouflage.
Very well camouflaged. But we would need a much better view to be able to ascertain, because in this environment it's tricky to tell. They normally herd species as well, but we just don't have enough. I'm not seeing any obvious dead giveaways that it's a male, but yeah, I still think it's probably a female. Yeah. It's amazing how a general impression, you can't really explain it, but you can know it's a little further left. There were no male parts there. We did have a good look.
Brandon coming.
Yeah, there's a lot of thunder and lightning forming behind us now. How cool would it be if we had even more? I wonder if I should call it in. I think I should.
Or at least post it in so
Yeah, I will. Very cool. Everyone will be excited about this. Amazing. On the main road. Where we drive all the time. Sorry, folks. I'll be with you in a sec. Just want to quickly update everybody. And it actually is with a couple of giraffe. It's not on its own. And that's good because they are a gregarious species. It's really cool. It also has like more refined features. Often the the bulls they're not as pretty. You're very pretty. It's very cool to see you. There you go. You see, nothing there. I'm so ecstatic. This is awesome. We're gonna lose visual of it. We haven't off-roaded to try and follow it. If we had, we probably would have scared it off. So I'm just gonna watch and see what we can see. And then when we lose it completely, we'll go and check out the male lions because they're not far from us. Becky, you're not wrong. I know the Brahma bulls, they do have that same necky features, so heavy neck set features.
Get me off of Blowbank.
They are quite cattle-like, actually. You can see it browsing there. It's becoming tricky for us to get it on camera, though. Maybe we leave it. We've had an epic sighting. We'll let it amble off. It's gone. See if we can get these male lions. And then I'm not sure what's going to happen with all the thunder and lightning that's transpiring around us. So let's just make the most of the time we do have together. Mind blowing.
First ever.
That was so cool. First on this reserve.
See, now you've got me saying
Eland.
eland.
Eland. It's always funny because South Africans, we all say things slightly differently. Like Andrew says, Andrew says, Lowveld, and I say blue wildebeest. Ah, that's so funny. Oh, it's a canoe. For once and for all, it is just a canoe, a blue canoe. So I'm just gonna try and see if I've missed any of your comments. So special to have an eland and a waterbuck in one drive. It is so special. I feel like this is a very successful drive already. So far, so fabulous. Really not very far from our male lions, but honestly, comparing to waterbuck and eland on this reserve, our male lions are, we see them. We see, old hat. I did see your message, Alex. Thank you, about the fact that there's sheet rain falling over, and it looks like it's going to continue to fall over the Bululi area. Not too far from here, but it does look like that area is getting more rain and is going to get more rain than we are. Oh, there was a duiker. A duiker. We differ on our pronunciation of a lot of these words. It's because a lot of them are Afrikaans-based words, and technically you should say them in Afrikaans, but when you're speaking English, it's a bit strange to say. We had a lovely day. We watched Lowveld of South Africa, and then we went and we carried on and we saw some eland. You can't do it. You can't mush the languages. It'd be different if you were speaking in Afrikaans.
Brandon, come in.
Now, it's possible that these males have moved. I don't actually know who's with them or if anyone's with them, but their roar, that call, we're not far, so we could have been hearing it from exactly where it was, but we could also have, oh no, this is Snelling. I'm just one road too early. Getting carried away because I'm thinking about the lions. Anyway, they might have moved. I wouldn't be surprised. Their roar did sound quite close. But we have to drive around to get to them. We can't go as the crow flies. There's not a road that does that from where we saw the eland. So that was so great for me. I don't know if you can. Okay. I'm just going to stop for a second so that you can see the sky. And the rain falling. And on the left, in that patch of, you can't see it. We can see big sheets of rain falling from that cloud, but the camera's not doing it justice. Wow, just when you think the cameras do everything justice. Whoa, if we'd stayed there 30 seconds longer, you would have seen the lightning. Thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening. I think we've got heat stroke, Andrew. Very, very frightening. It's crazy how much rain's falling there. I'm already bone dry. It's as if I didn't even get any rain. It's a lot of lightning. Hold on, it's very bouncy. Whoa. Stations, I'm keen to join the sighting of the male lions. I'm less than 5 out. Hold on, Andrew. These roads could use some TLC. Tender, loving care. Wait. I'm really thrilled about that, Eland. That makes me super happy. It was quite chilled. It wasn't a flash sighting. I thought it was going to be a flash sighting initially because it was standing and then it saw me and I saw it and I was like, oh my goodness. I thought it was just a big kudu because my brain didn't even think of it potentially being in Eland. In Eland. Now, I would be really bummed if I saw the lions hunting one of those because we did not have a big population of them at all. We might have just seen 10% of the population or more. Andrew reckons we've seen 90% of the population, which doesn't make sense. The maths is a little wonky there.
When I first started,
Whoa.
I think we had like 10 men.
Okay, so Andrew says that
And then they got picked off whilst I've been here.
we had 10 when Andrew first started a year ago, and now they've had a number have been killed by lions since then. Of course, there's always the chance that 1 or 2 of them have bred in that time, but it's very likely we have less than 10. We have I'm not sure if it's a dragonfly or a damselfly that's following us here, but it's a big one. Here they are. Beautiful. I'm going to go for that guy. Now they roared maybe 15 minutes ago. It will be time for another roar. His head is up. One of them has their head up. It's the same one. Is this fine? Beautiful. Hello. Listen to the thunder. Sure. I'm sure this lion is grateful for the change in pressure. Even though there doesn't seem to have been any rain here, there's definitely a bit of weight that's been lifted. Look at that. How well that scar on his nose has healed him. It was a massive gaping wound 3 weeks ago. It's still not perfect. A plastic surgeon would have done a much better job. Yeah, but it's far better than I anticipated it would be based on the severity of the injury. These animals and their healing abilities, just incredible. I like that they've got some scars in the time that we've been here. It makes them feel like real hardcore male lions. Ooh, hello. To stay hydrated. What I'm hoping happens here is that they get up and go for a drink. We are at Lowveld. I forgot to add sable to my list of favorite antelope earlier on in the drive. Sable are very cool. He's quite fixated on the other side of the opposite bank of the dam. And it's possible, I mean, with our duiker population, it's possible that something is moving around in the thicket on the opposite bank. It's also of course, a really lovely evening if you're an animal who wants to come for a drink. So I'm sure something does keep catching his attention. You watch that, his face softens and then he's alert again. Eyes are wider, gaze is fixated, and then his focus wanes, his face relaxes. There you go, like that. You see the tension's dropped. Now, Eddie. Region. He might flop. Look, focus is coming back. Ears are picked forward. Eyes have become more open. What are you seeing? I doubt it's the Egyptian geese. That wouldn't catch so much attention from a lion. So that's kind of a good way to explain how we read the behavior of animals. You can watch him fall in and out of focus just by looking at the muscles in his face and his eyesight and his ears. You can figure out quite a bit from his body language. And so this translates to other body language as well. Often it's hard for us to articulate, or tricky for us to articulate, why we feel relaxed in the presence of some animals at a certain proximity and totally uneasy in at a similar proximity to the same species in a different context. And it's all those nuanced muscle movements, body language, behavior that I think as guides, you spend so much time out here. And of course, people get it wrong, but you spend so much time out here that most of the assessments you're doing of a situation are on a subconscious level, particularly pertaining to safety. Of course, a lot of the obvious stuff we guide through, and so we're very consciously aware of a lot of their behavior, but there's a lot of their nuanced behavior that we interpret without even realizing that we're processing it. Oh, I thought that was coming. It's hard to be a male lion. Actually, in some environments, it really is hard to be a male lion. Not so for us. They do listen with their whole body, Mum Ruth. The way they focus, their focus starts with their ears and their eyes, but then their body stills, their breathing becomes very even. If they're paying attention to something, they often are listening with their whole body, at least focusing with every muscle. It's lions and lightning. It's a beautiful evening. The fly's annoying him there. Look at how he's trying to see it. If it comes too close to his face, he's going to snap at it. No, just going to shake it away. Oh. Not very inspiring, guys. It was nice of them to both individually have their heads up for us, though. Hmm? Yeah, there's a dark cloud in the west. And a lot of lightning. None of us would complain about rain if it does that. Decide to fall properly. Yes, Becky, it was quite a big flop. They don't flop gently, they surrender to gravity when they want to flop. Whoa, red-chested cuckoos arrived in our sighting. Where are you?
Is that him there? I'm gonna try just with the camera. It could just be a leaf, but I think I see it.
Andrew thinks he can see the red-chested cuckoo, so he's going to try and put it on camera. Oh, it's a leaf. I think it's a bit deeper in. I don't think we're going to get it.
At least we tried.
We did try. I love that call. It was I had the most hysterical moment, probably one of the funniest moments of my guiding career on a private safari recently. We had a guest who was having a different conversation, and I was telling the guests who were listening that people, South Africans, we joke about this bird saying, Piet my vrou, and then I translated it to Pete, my wife, and she was like, did you just say you peed on your wife? And we all exploded with laughter because when you actually listen to it, it's not very far from your brain can take you there if you use your creative license, but just the timing of it and how flabbergasted she was, I couldn't stop giggling. I had to take deep breaths. Oop, he's up again. I kind of hope they're going to roar for us, but if they don't and he flops back down, we'll continue and see what else we can find. Clearly, it's an evening for the rare things. Oop, both of them are now heads up. Heads up looking around. Perhaps they've heard lions roaring in the distance. We can't hear anything, but their hearing is better than ours. They might get started now. It's a very vocal yawn. No, maybe not. Something did catch their attention. Now you can always tell that some things caught their attention when they sit up at the same time. Yep. The red-chested cuckoo didn't get the memo of stop talking when the lions roar. That's amazing. Two iconic African sounds at exactly the same time. What an experience. A lion, a male lion, any lion, but a male lion's roar never gets old. It's always amazing. So cool. Okay, they've roared for us, Andrew. What do you say? Should we carry on?
I'm just the cameraman.
We're going to carry on. We're going to move along. Thanks, guys. It's lovely to see you both. And red-chested cuckoo, lovely to hear you. Stations, I'm leaving the male lions at Leopardam to themselves. They are vocalizing frequently. Well, once. And once before we got there. VM reminded us today that it's only, I think, what is it? It's only a couple of days until the solstice, which is crazy because although summer has been hot, it does not feel like we're already halfway through it. I'm sure if you live in the northern hemisphere, you're quite ready for the solstice and a little bit more daylight, but I really love the summer days, the length of the summer days, where it's light from just after 4 and it gets dark. I mean, for us it gets dark now around 7:15. Usually when we don't have so many clouds, it's a little longer, but we have light, natural light. The beautiful thing about living in the bush is that every season is amazing. It's so cyclical that by the time the next season rolls around, the bush needs that season again. I love that. Nothing's linear out here. I guess that's why they call it the circle of life and not the line. I don't know. Oh, I don't know where VM is. I haven't forgotten. Andrew's trying to remind me, but I haven't forgotten. I'm just waiting. Now, I kind of want to go and check Mamba Dam because I know that it's really, really been warm. We had tracks of a leopard around the Haze recently. Andrew heard one vocalizing last night from his tent at about 1 a.m. And we had that footage of Kudu Krip 2-3 drinking from the camp cam on the early hours of Tuesday morning. So I just want to go and check around that area, scratch around, see if there's any activity there. Or maybe we head north and we check if Lemondoring has any activity. What do you think, Andrew? I also think Mamba Dam. I don't know why. I just want to. Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say I've got a feeling because Gareth would say he's got a feeling. I don't know if it's a feeling or if it's just a hopefulness in me. It's probably just the optimist in me thinking that if there's one vocalizing near Hace and there's one that's been drinking on Camp Cam and it's very warm and they're not going to drink on Camp Cam this time of the day because we're there. They'll probably use somewhere like Mamba Dam, and I think we're the only people this far south on Blowbank. So, in fact, the radio's gone quiet. I wonder if the rain chased a lot of people away. The rain feels like a distant memory. I am bone dry again. Look at that. Beautiful sky. You can see it. Just admiring the sky at the moment. This is our mountain minute. It's becoming a thing. Let's take a minute to enjoy this view. Just breathe. got something. Our mountain marble minute. It's my newest thing. It's going to be in all of the shows because every single time we're on a drive, I'm in love with the mountain. Becky, you're still looking for the elusive serval. Serval would be a fun thing to see. I would be very happy with a serval. Or a leopard. Andrew wants to see a caracal. I've seen a few servals and a few caracals in my lifetime, but neither on this reserve. But I forget, I'm pretty new here. Gotta do the time before you start seeing these crazy things, usually. Sometimes there's a little bit of beginner's luck. Although getting stuck in an aardvark burrow on your first live drive is the opposite of beginner's luck. It's great initiation. I don't know if any of you, a couple of you would have been on the drive, but a little while back, Rietspruit 2-3 was seen on this road. We were like 2 minutes away, but we didn't get to her in time. And so she vanished. So we spent most of the afternoon. That's when we lost Andrew's watch off his wrist, and then subsequently found it. But she uses this area. She's using it more and more. And actually on the video that we saw of her from Camp Cam, not to stir up too much excitement, but she looked pregnant. It's always tricky to tell. It's not easy. But the way her belly was hanging, just a little different than a full belly. Come on, Rietspruit. Make my day. Had waterbuck. I've had an eland. Male lions roaring. There would be no better cherry on top of one delicious ice cream sundae that we've had this drive. Although Becky would also like a caracal. So if we can, Becky, maybe we can grant all three of your wishes, although I will fall off my chair, eat my hat, and probably not know what to say. We saw all three of them in the next 10-15 minutes. One would be enough. Whoa. There are eyes on the left. It's possible it's impala. You see that there? Okay, don't worry. It's on the road, so. I just want to investigate what these eyes were. May have been a duiker. there. What is that? Oh, it's a genet. You see it in there? It's tricky. It's going to be very hard to put on camera. Can you see what I'm looking at? Okay. If I reverse, you're going to have this sickle bush in your way. I think it's just to the left, but it's gone low. It's going to be impossible. Well, at least I've satisfied my, see it there? My curiosity. Because those eyes were catching me. Yeah, I want to get to... I also believe in miracles, Becky. Sorry, Becky. So I'm on your side there. I'm just going to turn around because I want to try and get to Mamba Dam and see if anything's drinking there. Maybe a rhino. So yeah, that genet was impossible to put on camera. Sorry, everybody. Looked like a young one, but the grass was... It was crouching down in the grass, so it was very well concealed, and there was a sickle bush right in front of its face as well. So, just gonna have to take our word for the fact that there was a genet in the thickets here. Genet are very sweet. Gareth will always add, they're very sweet unless they're nesting in your roof. He had them nesting in his roof when we were neighbours at Nalamala. No, the guinea fowl roosted in the tree above, and the genets lived in his ceiling.
Like in
In the ceiling, and they used to fight, and that would wake him up. I slept through all of it. I don't know. We shared the same roof and ceiling because we were neighbours. Just one wall between us. Like little human stables. Very nice accommodation, but it felt like stables. In a glamorous, more glamorous way than stables. Less hay. And then they're quite dirty, so they urinated a lot. And they used one patch of ceiling. And so he went on leave and came back, and his entire bathroom ceiling had just disintegrated from all the moisture from the genet urine, which was less than ideal. Poor guy. He wasn't thrilled. Can you imagine you've locked up your room for 2 weeks and then you get back and it just absolutely reeks. Some Egyptian piece here. There's something in that. It's another genet. It's just on this game trail. It's moved off to the left though. At least it's a genet. I've got a really good look at it, but it's just into the right. Oh, ow, something's in my eye. Sorry, 1 second, everyone. Something wriggly in my eye. I don't even know if I got it. Sorry, Andrew. There it is. There it is in my spotlight. Just go in where you are. That's the water on the left. Up there, in the middle of your screen. Beautiful. See, I'm not going crazy, everybody. There's 2 of them here. Maybe they're going to interact.
Kevin going off Blowbank.
There you go. They're fighting. I don't know if you heard that, everybody, but that's the sound we would have in our ceiling.
How would you not hear that?
Oh, I can see through anything. Except the heat. I don't know if you could hear that, but there's a bit of squabbling that went on there. I don't know if they didn't know that one another were here, and then they saw one another, or what the story is. They're in this should be able to hear it, everyone. I don't know. I think the Egyptian geese also contribute a little bit there. Just going to keep the flashlight here because they are in the thicket there. Every now and then you can hear them fighting with each other. It's gone quiet and they've moved off. I think. Yeah.
Should be closing down.
They have moved off. That's very cool though. I hope you could hear it. It's like cats fighting. If you know the sound of domestic cats, it sounds quite similar. Just checking to see if there's any more action. Oh, actually, a little bit of movement. It's not going to be possible. They've moved further in as well. It's gone quiet. So whatever they were disagreeing about, they've settled their differences, or somebody's moved off. I think even the interactions between males and females are similar. So it's very difficult to analyze what's going on here and what the different dynamics could be, because it could be two males, could be a male and a female, could be young ones. Okay, let's carry on. Let's go up here. Janet's have moved off. I think I still have a bug in my eye. I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that when we get back to. No, I'm good, thank you. When we get back, I'll deal with it. Usually bugs just die and they enter your eye. And then you have the fun task of, hold on, Andrew, fishing them out later this evening. I wonder if that's very good for my eyesight. Probably not, but what do you do? What do you do? Definitely feel it. I've had bugs in my eyes that have lived there for a couple of days without me knowing. I mean, I could remember the moment that it went into my eye and then I couldn't get it out. And then my eye watered so much because different little Mickeys will have slightly different chemical secretions because they believe they're being predated upon, but in fact they've just flown into my eye. And yeah, about 3 days after that happened, I woke up and my eye was quite a little bit swollen and a lot sore. Felt like it had been bruised. And I went to the bathroom and I pulled tried to look under my top lid and there was nothing there. And I pulled the bottom lid down and right deep, very deep in, the fold on the inside of my bottom eyelid, there was a little black bug that had been there for 3 days. No wonder my eye was sore. So I fished it out with an earbud and I lived to tell the tale. You could say the bug came off second best. Sheesh. Yeah, it's hot. Real hot. I was hoping that we would have a break in the heat because it always helps to sleep. It's a little cooler. Not to be. No, it's going to be another one of those hot days. Sorry, Mr. Wildebeest. Didn't mean to scare you. A whole bunch of wildebeest and impala behind us. Would not be fair to shine a light on them now. They are resting. Their eyesight does not handle these lights very well. So the southern fence. Oh, there's a scrub hare. This is actually quite a big scrub hare. Nice, and he's far enough away that I don't feel too bad for shining on him for too long. Big eyes, big ears. Perfect nocturnal species. Looks a lot like a rabbit, but is actually very different to a rabbit. Many things differentiate a hare from a rabbit. Some of them include how they nest. A bunny rabbit burrows, whereas a scrub hare will have its offspring in a scrape in the ground. A rabbit will have very altricial young, which means that they're very dependent on their mother, whereas a scrub hare has very precocial young, meaning that they're very ready to run and move around from when they're born. And a scrub hare is generally solitary, whereas rabbits can form quite large social groups. Of course, the ears of a scrub hare are just enormous by comparison as well. But this is lovely. This is a big one. And it's nice. Sometimes we see them right next to the road, and then shining on them is a little bit intense, even though they're nocturnal. But at that proximity, it's pretty rough to shine on them. So this is lovely to get to see him. He would have just woken up, probably slept at the base of a thick bush, escaped the heat in the shade. There's nothing like the shade of a tree. Canvas and other structures, sorry, there's a mozzie in my ear. They don't do the same job. So this little guy would have had quite a shady sleep, I'm sure. And now it's time to wake up and live a nocturnal life. Cool. Great to see him, actually. Hop, what long legs, oops. Also very indicative of a hare, those long legs. Great, it's getting a bit close, I don't want to blind it. That's pretty cool. Pretty fabulous. You see the bug in my eye? Yeah. I'll deal with it. It's been a long time since the cheetah brothers were in this area. I would like them to come back to this area. everybody. Oh, darker. Maybe something else. Just a brief reminder. It's late in the week, but you've still got a few chances left if you are interested in getting our photograph of the week, which is a picture of Siseka, the beautiful Siseka from the Thorny Bush area that was taken on a private safari. If you would like a picture of her, don't forget that you can email us info@paintedog.tv, and your keyword for the week is travel. Travel is the keyword because it was taken on a trip. All right, that's for our pack members. But to all of you, thank you for joining us. Thank you for experiencing the highs and lows. I want to say the highs and lows, but it's just been highs and highs. The rain, the wildebeest, the eland, the waterbuck, the lions roaring. It's been fantastic. It's been so fun to be out with you. Thank you all, and we'll see you on sunny Sunday. Bye.